Hey guys, I'm excited for those of you who were able to download the student version and can actually get to use the software. So I'm going to start creating a video on how to use the web app and then how to use the actual student version since you guys are able to do that. So that's awesome. I don't want to hold you back. So the first thing is I'm going to open up AutoCAD and I'm going to open up my ANSI mechanical template. And the video before this reminded us how to set up our properties palette and our layer properties. Again, make sure you're opening your ANSI mechanical template. I'm going to go ahead and go up to File, Save As. And I'm going to save this in my drafting folder if I can make one on the computer that I'm on, or you're going to want to get a USB and save it on that. So I'm going to save it in here. Drafting folder. I want to save this as Multiview 1. And we want to save this as a drawing file, not a DWT. So AutoCAD 2018 drawing file is what we want to save this as. The template file is different. It's just basically like the setup for us, whereas a DWG is the actual drawing file. So saving it that way. And again, like I mentioned in that first video, I actually already have the constructions lines laid out for Multiview 1 for you guys in this template. I forgot they were in there. So we're just going to roll with it and do this. When we do Multiview 2 and you do the video for that, I will show you how to set these up specifically. So looking at Multiview 1, we have the L shape in the front view. We have the notch in the right side view and the slot in the top view. So we're going to draw the L shape here. We're going to draw the notch here, and we're going to draw the slot up top, just like we did with manual drawing. So I'm going to zoom into my front view, and I'm going to go up, and I want to make my object line layer current. Now, if these layers don't show up, that means you didn't open your ANSI mechanical template, so you need to go back and make sure you do that. All right, I'm going to start the line command, L enter. And this is the first point. I want to click on that point because I do want a line there. And I'm going to go over 0.5, just drag over to the right and then type in 0.5, enter. Now I want to go back and do the same line command. So I know I'm going to use line again. So I'm just going to use the space bar to exit and then space bar to enter back into my line command. And actually, if I press it again, it connects it back to the last point. But that's not what I want. I want to just hit space bar twice. So space bar, and I'm going to start this point here. If for some reason you get out of that, then just start the line command again, L enter. Click here, drag up, 0.5, enter. Now I'm going to draw over, and I'm just going to drag over to the right. And because I have all of the right settings turned on down here, so I've got the grid on, I've got polar snap, and I've got that set. We're going to set it to 45. And I've got object snap tracking on, which allows me to remember points and then track, or that's the green line right there is the tracking. Object snap. And I'm going to turn on these 6. I want endpoint, midpoint, center, quadrant, intersection, extension. And then the rest of the stuff we will get to when we go back. So I'm going to drag over to the right, and I'm just going to come up and hover over the endpoint of the line that I drew up top. Don't click on it because we don't want to draw a line there, but then I'm going to drag down, and it will accurately snap or remember that point for me, and I can then snap and click on the exact point where those would intersect. Then draw straight up. Now spacebar again. The next thing I need to do is I do need to draw this bottom corner with lines and then spacebar. So I've got my L shape. If I come up here and I hide or turn off my construction line layer, so there's a bunch of different options for layers. So I can turn it on and off, and that just makes it go away, right? So it just makes it hide. I can freeze it. Now, freeze comes in a lot of handy. It basically does the same thing as on and off, and it comes in a lot of handy if you have a really big, complex drawing, because it basically brain freezes that layer out of AutoCAD, so AutoCAD isn't thinking about it. It's such a big program, and it has to keep up with so much information that the freeze command allows AutoCAD to kind of dump that layer and all the stuff it needs to remember about that layer out of its mind. So if it's something that you're done with, a lot of times you can freeze it. And then locking it just means that I can't move or do anything to any on that layer. And if I lock it, you can see how it dulls out just a little bit. All right, so I'm just gonna turn them off real quick so I can see the L shape, and I've got my L shape there. Turn them back on. All right, now we're gonna come over to our right side and we're gonna draw the notch right here. And if you look back at Multiview 1, so I'm going over 0.25 and down 0.25. So start the line command again, L enter right here, and I'm going to go over 0.25 and I'm going to go down 0.25, enter. Escape, escape, escape. Remember, if you're escaping to get out of a command, you want to go all the way out 3 times, escape, escape, escape. I'm going to select those 2 lines that I just drew. I can select both of them by just clicking on them, or I could use one of my selection windows. Right? I would want to use the blue though, selection windows. And then I'm going to mirror these. So I'm going to type in MI, enter. That's my alias for mirror. And I want to mirror it about the center line or the center point right here. But I can't select that center point because that's one whole line. So I'm going to do my favorite snap, my magic snap. Hold down Shift and right click with your mouse. And you get a whole bunch of options for snaps just one time. So if we turn on Object Snap down here, that means that that one shows up all the time. These are ones that we can get to just sometimes. So if you're in a command and you Shift right click, then you will get all of these snaps. If you're not in a command and you right click, then you get options for other options. But we're going to pick this mid between 2 points. It's my favorite snap. So I'm going to click mid between 2 points, and I'm going to click this point and this point, and it snaps directly to that point. Now I'm going to draw my mirror line. If you look down in the command line window, it's asking you to draw the mirror line or the middle line that it's going to mirror around. So click the top. All right, we're not done quite yet. Now it's asking me, do we want to erase the source objects? Meaning, do we want to erase those first 2 lines that we drew? And no, we do not. So we'll do that. All right, now I'm going to start the line command again, L enter, and I'm going to connect a line between these 2. Spacebar, spacebar, and I'm just going to draw around the outside as well. Escape, escape, escape. Now if we come up and we turn off our construction lines again, you can see we have drawn the notch and then the exterior edges of the right side. So let's go up and draw our top view. And we are just going to draw the outside and the slot. So we're going down 0.5, in 0.75, then down 0.25. And I know that by just doing math between 0.75 minus this and then back over. And then we'll trace all the way around. So start the line command, L enter. Clicking this point, I'm going to go down 0.5. I'm going to go in 0.75, down 0.25, go over and click the intersection. And then I'm just going to trace all the way around. Escape, escape, escape. All right, now if I scroll out and pan over or double click my mouse wheel to zoom all, I come up and I turn off this construction line layer one more time, I can see I've got my front view, my right side view, and my top view ready to now project my features around. So come back and turn that back on. All right, so I'm first going to project this L shape, and I'm going to project it over and then up. So I'm going to start the line command, L enter, and I'm going to grab by hovering over this point because I don't want to actually draw a line quite yet. I just want to hover over that point, drag out to the right until we get that extension, And then I'll click once, click twice, space bar, space bar. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to drag up and I'm going to click, click, space bar, space bar. Next, I'm going to project around my slot. So I'm going to hover over this point and I'm going to drag all the way out until I intersect with that miter line that I have drawn. And I am going to actually click here and then drag straight down. Spacebar, spacebar. And I'm going to do the same with this one. Hover over that point, drag out all the way over to my miter line, click, and drag straight down. Ah! Pressed escape by accident. Now, obviously, we don't need these lines that long. So I could do a couple of things. I could trim them, or I can do what we call grip editing. So I'm going to click on this line, and I'm going to heat up or make red. We call it heating up. This top grip. So I'm going to heat it up by clicking on it, and then I'm just going to drag straight down. And it basically stretches my line down to that point. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Click on it, and I'm going to stretch it down. All right, now I need to do these up and over. So this notch up top. So I'm going to start the line command, L enter, hover over this point, go straight up to my miter line, click, drag straight over, spacebar, spacebar. I'm going to take the other one, top of this, drag straight up, click, straight over, and escape, escape, escape. Now I'm going to stretch these again. So I click on the line, click on the grip or heat up the grip by clicking on it, and then stretch all the way back. Escape, escape. And you do need to make sure those object snaps are on, or this won't work correctly. So if I accidentally snap to here, that's not what I want, right? I want to snap. I want that intersection snap. Make sure we're using the right one. Okay, so we've got now almost everything drawn. The only thing we're missing now is our hidden lines. So I need to show the hidden line right here where this notch goes in, or sorry, the slot. So this lines up and shows me that if I'm looking at the object in this direction, I see that slot behind it. And then the same with the notch. So if I'm looking at the object this way, I need to mark where that notch is. So that's going to come straight over here. In order to make that layer current, so I want to be drawing in my hidden line layer, I'm going to start the line command, L enter. I'm going to hover over this point right here and drag straight down, click, click, and there's my hidden line. And then L enter, I'm going to hover over this point, drag straight over, click, click, escape, escape, escape. Double click my mouse wheel to zoom all. And I had my Multiview one drawn and set up. So this is what you're going to take a screenshot of. A screenshot of this drawn, and then we're going to export. So we're going to go up to the big A, export, and we want to export as a PDF. If this pops up and you're on one of the school computers, just press OK. It will allow you to then go to a different or select a different place to save it. And you need to be saving these either on your local, on flash drive at that point. So in your drafting folder, first and last name, Multiview 1 PDF, save. All right, so I have saved that PDF. So next I would come to my email, compose your email. Compose. All right, you would, my email's not working for some reason, but you would compose your email. Oh, whoa, now I'm gonna have a whole bunch of them. So it would be to me, Hoggard Drafting. You can email this to your parents too if you want. Subject, first and last name, dash Multiview 1, then Dear Mrs. Dean. Here's a screenshot of my Multiview 1, so paste that screenshot in there and then attach your PDF as well. All right, so that's Multiview 1. Next week, we'll actually be learning how to set up our title block and add some text to our paper space. So we've been drawing in model space and we'll be setting up our paper space for us next week. All right, have fun drawing.